Good morning, my name is Ralf Friedrichs and welcome to Take Your Life Back with me, Ralf Friedrichs. This week we're going to talk about National Drug Fact Week. The Did You Knows, that's what we will be discussing today. There are things that I want to bring out to you that you might have not known, but maybe you have. As always, we are going to just mention Dr. Luis Gonzalez from Starting Point. He is at 844-414-8444. Dr. Luis Gonzalez also has a website at www.startingpointmn stands for Minnesota.com. That's startingpointmn.com. Dr. Luis Gonzalez has two entities to his business. One entity is just like what I do. He is an addiction recovery coach. He is not a counselor, nor is he a therapist. We both do not talk about your past. We work on today, 24 hours at a time, and think about tomorrow. We walk with you from your addiction to your recovery. Hand in hand, we will fight your battles together. That's Dr. Luis Gonzalez at 844-414-8444 on the other side of his business. What he can do is turn you, that's right, yes you, into an addiction recovery coach if you possess professionalism, passion, and personality. If you have some sort of addiction in your background, whether it's your own battles or you help other people like a loved one or a spouse, you have an advantage, and that is a huge plus in becoming an addiction recovery coach at startingpointmn.com. That's 844-414-8444. You can also reach out to me. I have a couple websites. My first one is for informational purposes. It is called clearviews.info. That's CLEARVIEWS.info. There you will find all of my 175 videos. You will also find articles, sections from papers from the Mayo Clinic, from the CDC, all written by either doctors, psychologists, or psychiatrists. They are the folks that have the medical background. I merely provide that information to you. I am an addiction recovery coach. I will also walk with you hand in hand from addiction to recovery. We will set up plans for today's activities, and we will worry about tomorrow. We again will never ever talk about your past. On my other website is www.clearreform.com. Clear Reform stands for, the reform part is to transform you from one person to another. You notice both my websites start with the word clear. When I first hit rock bottom and I started becoming clear within my body and my mind, I thought, let me come up with a website that starts with clear. So what do you come up with? Initials. For the initials, clear. Community, lessons, and power, addiction recovery. It is all of us, whether it's in your own community, whether it's the video community, or it's a global community. It's our lessons that help empower the addiction recoveries within all of us. That is why we have clearviews.info, which is one website, and clearreform.com for the other one. There you will find information on how I can help you, how I will help you take your life back. You can reach me at 844-405-HELP, 844-405-HELP. You can also text me 24/7 at 631-519-0218. That's where you can text me, and excuse me one second. Let me just do something here. Okay. And we will fight the battles together. Now, we will this week talk about how there are many facts out there on how to battle addictions. But this week is Drug Awareness Week, and that's what we are going to talk about. We are talking about the facts. It's National Drug Fact Week. Did you know and why and how all this came about? I am trying to shut my phone off here. I will have to get back to that because I don't want to be interrupted, because this is very, very important that I bring the correct knowledge or information to you. I don't like to be interrupted, whether it's being by my dogs or my cats or even simple things as a phone call. So as soon as that reboots, excuse me for 1 second, I'm going to turn the volume down. This week is National Drug Fact Week, a week to share the true facts about drug abuse. Here are some facts, concise, to the point. Please forward this video to anyone, and I mean anyone suffering from substance abuse or addiction, and to a teen that you might love, because the teenagers, if we nip it in the bud with the youngsters, that will kind of stop it at a certain point, because right now the way the youngsters are going, and what they see at home and what they see at school, it is just bad news. And we're going to talk about role model, how we as parents and grandparents can and should be better role models, because in the view of a child, we are not just role models, but we are their heroes, and that is important that we make sure that we take care of that. Now, about a third of high school seniors report using illicit drug sometimes in the past year, and more than 10% report non-medical use of narcotic painkillers. More than 20% of high school seniors report smoking marijuana in the past month. While drugs can while drugs can put a teenager's health and life in jeopardy, many teens are not aware of the risks, because the education or the lack of education when it comes to this is not being enforced. It is being enforced more in schools than it is in our own home, and that's where it really needs to start. Even for those teens who do not abuse drugs, many have friends or family who do, and they are often looking for ways to help them. When teens are given the scientific facts about drugs, they can be better prepared to make good decisions for themselves, and they can share this information with others, their peers. National Institute of Drug Abuse, that's NIDA, National Drug Facts Weeks, provided this information. Did you know marijuana is addictive? The chances of becoming addicted to marijuana or any drug are different for each person. For marijuana, around 1 in 11 can be addicted to it. 1 in 11, so that's about 9%. Spice, also known as K2, is considered to be a fake marijuana. It has put people in emergency rooms with vomiting, confusion, and hallucinations. It is abused mainly by smoking. Now, did you know that? Did you know that marijuana, 1 out of 11 people can be addicted to it, and is also known as spice, which is also an AKA for K2. It is to be considered a fake marijuana, and it has put people into the emergency rooms with signs of vomiting, confusion, and hallucination. And it is mainly abused by smoking. Let's check this phone. Okay, let's do this and turn the volume down. And there we go. Okay, so volume stopped. Excuse me. Why do people smoke when they know it's bad for them? They may be addicted to nicotine. That could be the reason. Just like, why do people drink when they know it's bad for them? Because they are addicted to the alcohol. Did you know? Research says that teens who see a lot of smoking in movies are more likely to start smoking themselves. Sometimes characters smoke to look edgy, rebellious, but sometimes it's just about the product placement. The tobacco industry is trying to get into your head and into your pockets. It's about the labeling and the marketing. Maybe last year sometime I did a video on how what's on the screen impacts the person watching that screen. I wish I could even compete with the cigarette and the alcohol ads that are out there, how it draws the attention of the viewers. I wish when people view my videos, they would give me 10% of the attention that they give the smoking industry and the alcohol industry, and how they run out and get the merchandise and consume it and then get addicted to it. If I could just catch 10% of my viewers' attention with my videos, I would do so much better for you, and I would certainly do mentally better for me, because I do sincerely care about helping everyone that's willing to get help for addiction. This is a fact. Most people who start smoking in their teens become regular smokers before they hit the age of 18. Smokeless tobacco does not cause cancer. 440,000 Americans die from disease associated with tobacco each and every year. Did you know Drinking and driving can add up to tragic endings. In the U.S., about 5,000 people under the age of 21 die each year from injuries caused by underage drinking, nearly 40% of 1,900 in car crashes. Think about this, 1,900 car crashes, let's just say. 40% of that would be what, about 700. 700 people died, underage drinkers died due to that. Fact, more than 4 in 10 people who begin drinking before age 15 eventually become alcoholics. True fact, because I am a pure and example of that. Think about it, before the age of 15, I tried alcohol way before 15. Way. Forget about the fact that you might even have the genetics in you because you have either grandparents, parents, or someone in your family that is an alcoholic. But when you start testing at a young age, like I did, and start consuming at a young age, like I did, chances are that if you're one of the 4 out of the 10, like I was, you will become an alcoholic like I am, but I have learned to live with my addiction and to fight my addiction. Did you know meth reduces the amount of protective saliva around the teeth? People who use meth also tend to drink a lot of sugary sodas, neglect personal hygiene, grind their teeth, and clench their jaws. Ooh, I hate that sound. All of which cause what is known as meth mouth. Say that 10 times fast. Meth users sometimes hallucinate that they have insects creeping on top of or underneath their skin. The person will pick or scratch their skin, trying to get rid of the imaginary crank bugs. Soon their face and arms are covered with open sores that can be infected. So what they're literally doing is going like that, thinking, hallucinating that there are bugs under or in their skin. And because they're doing this and this all the time, it will open up scars or wounds, and those scars then will show to everyone. Did you know 1 in 3 songs that said something about drug and alcohol and tobacco use? Again, the marketing. Did you know that 3 in 4 rap songs said something about drug, alcohol, and tobacco use? Did you know 7 in 10 movies show characters smoking? Did you know 1 in 3 movies showed people getting drunk? These are facts. 1 in 3 songs said something about drug and alcohol, tobacco use. 3 in 4 rap songs says something about drug, alcohol, and tobacco use. 7 in 10 movies show characters smoking. 1 in 3 movies show people getting drunk. Fact, tobacco causes wrinkles, bad breath, yellow teeth, wheezing, and stinky clothes. True facts. These are all true facts. Tobacco affects the brain with addiction, skin and skin damage and wrinkles, eyes with cataracts, mouth with mouth sores or mouth cancers, throat with throat cancer, heart with heart disease, lung with lung disease. Folks, alarming. Think about this. Brain with addiction, skin with skin damage and wrinkles, eyes with cataracts, mouth with mouth cancers, throat with throat cancers, heart with heart disease, and lung with lung disease. These are facts that tobacco causes these things. Did you know in 2007, prescription pain medications like Vicodin and oxycodone were involved in more overdose deaths than heroin and cocaine combined? However, that was 2007. I think right now we're going through a major, huge heroin epidemic in the United States. RX drug abuse is drug abuse. Prescription drugs are still drugs. They're just prescribed by a doctor but abused by the patient. It is safe to use prescription medication when they are prescribed to you by a doctor for a current problem. Mixing pills with other drugs or with alcohol really increases the risk of death from accidental overdose. Abuse of prescription stimulants like Ritalin and Adderall can cause serious health problems, including panic attacks, seizures, and heart attacks. Sedatives, on the other hand, can also cause a number of health problems when taken in excess. A bigger problem presents itself when sedatives become addictive later on. I did plenty of videos on abuse of prescription drugs. I spoke many times about our legal drug dealer that lives in your bathroom. He is called the Mr. Medicine Cabinet. He's not the Dr. Medicine. He is Mr. Medicine Cabinet. Our drugs that we put in there should only include the ones that we utilize for existing issues and prescribed by a doctor. If there are drugs in your Mr. Medicine Cabinet, your drug dealer in your bathroom, that have addictive results for addictive personalities, you folks, you need to remove them. If you have children in the house and you keep painkillers, or teenagers in the house also, painkillers in that drug cabinet, you need to remove them. Any addictive drug for people that have addictive personalities that are in your Mr. Medicine Cabinet, your legal drug dealer, need to be removed. They need to be removed not just for children and teenagers, for anyone in the household that has an addictive personality. Did you know repeated drug use can reset the brain's pleasure meter so that without the drug you feel hopeless and sad? Eventually, everyday fun stuff like spending time and friends or playing with your dog doesn't make you happy anymore. Drugs mess up your brain's wiring and signals. It's almost like, let's compare it to an electrical system in your car, and you kind of have too many things going on, and you blow a fuse. Well, that's a similarity to this. What about rehab? Does treatment really work? Why do people come and go so much? A lot of it has to do with the individual, because if the individual is not giving 100% effort and is not admitting to the fact that they have a problem, which we'll talk about in a few minutes, then rehab won't work. There's an old saying, you can take a horse to water, but you cannot make him drink. And the same concept goes, you can take anyone to rehab, but if they're not ready and willing, it won't work. It takes time to recover from addiction. Not only will the brain, for the brain to readjust, but to make lifestyle changes to avoid drugs. Think how hard it is for people trying to lose weight. They try different diets, exercises for a while, lose a few pounds, only to have a relapse in the diet sense to gain the weight back. Until they can make the lasting changes to keep the weight off, same with quitting drugs and alcohol, it may take several rounds of treatment before it sticks and several relapses in between. The best thing to do, folks, and if you're listening, is if you have a relapse, you dust your knees, pull yourself up, take an inventory of yourself and see what caused the relapse and prevent it from happening again. Folks, I am sitting here humbly before you to tell you 6 to 7 times I relapsed before I finally, and I mean finally, hit rock bottom. Fact, there is treatment, and it works. There is treatment. A person who's addicted to drugs can be helped with treatment. Do you know someone who needs help with drug or alcohol addiction? If you do, they are not alone. Help is available. Folks, this is a phone number for referral for treatment programs. And I'm also going to talk to you about what I offer as far as information on my website. If you call 1-800-622-HELP, that is a hotline where you can get referrals to treatment programs. 1-800-622-HELP. It sounds like my phone number, which is 1-844-405-HELP. Both of us are here to help you, but if you want to get treatment program information, call 1-800-622-HELP. For parents, toll-free helpline, call 1-855-DRUG-FREE. 1-855-DRUG-FREE. Let's do a recap before we jump into a couple of other things. This is National Drug Facts Week, the Did You Knows. This week is National Drugs Fact Week, a week to share true facts about drug abuse. About a third of high school seniors reporting using illicit drugs sometimes in the past year, and more than 10% report non-medical use of narcotic painkillers. 10%. More than 20% of high school seniors reported smoking marijuana in the past month. Did you know marijuana is addictive? Just like alcohol or any drug, the chance of becoming addicted to marijuana or a drug are different for each person, like anything else. For marijuana, around 1 in 11 become addicted, about 9%. Spice is also marijuana, also known as K2. It is considered to be fake marijuana. It has put people in emergency rooms with symptoms, including vomiting, confusion, and hallucination. Remember, we talked about the bugs. If abused, it is abused mainly by smoking. Why do people smoke when they know it's bad for them? Why do people drink? It's called an addiction. They may be addicted to nicotine. Did you know research says that teens who see a lot of smoking in movies are more likely to start smoking themselves? Sometimes characters smoke to look edgy and rebellious, but sometimes it's just about product placement. I can't stand the marketing that's out there. The tobacco industry trying to get you into your head and, more importantly, into your pockets. This is a fact. Most people who start smoking in their teens become regular smokers before they turn 18. Smokeless tobacco does cause cancer. 440,000 Americans die from a disease associated with tobacco each and every year. Did you know drinking and driving can add up to tragic endings? In the U.S., about 5,000 people under the age of 21 die each year from injuries caused by underage drinking. That's nearly 40% of the 1,900 car crashes last year for drinking and driving, I should say. Fact, more than 4 in 10 people who begin drinking before age 15 eventually become alcoholics. That is a fact, and I'm a true example of that. Did you know meth reduces the amount of protective saliva around your teeth? People who use meth also tend to drink a lot of sugary soda, neglect personal hygiene, grind their teeth, and clench their jaws, all of which can cause a terminology known as meth mouth. Meth users sometimes hallucinate that there are insects under their skin, and they start scratching their arms and their chest and their face and their neck, and eventually all that scratching becomes they become sores, and they can open wounds, and it shows on people. Did you know that 1 in 3 songs sometimes said something about drug and alcohol and tobacco? This doesn't surprise me. This next fact, that 3 out of 4 rap songs said something about drug, alcohol, and tobacco use. You know, that rebellious thing. 7 in 10 movies showed on characters smoking in the theater. 1 in 3 movies showed people getting drunk. A fact is, tobacco causes wrinkles, bad breath, yellow teeth, wheezing, and stinky clothes. Tobacco affects the brain with addiction. It affects the skin with skin damage and wrinkles, the eyes with cataracts, the throat with throat cancer, the heart with heart disease, and the lung with lung disease. Did you know in 2007 prescription pain medication like Vicodin and oxycodone were involved in more overdose deaths than heroin and cocaine combined? I think those statistics have changed. RX drug abuse is drug abuse. Mr. Medicine Cabinet is a legal drug dealer living in your home. What is in it is up to you to make sure that if there's anything addictive that's in it, that you eliminate that for anyone in your household that has an addictive personality. Did you know repeated drug use can reset the brain's pleasure meter? So without the drug, you feel hopeless and sad. Eventually, every day, fun stuff like spending time with friends or even playing with the dog do not give you any sort of pleasure anymore, and makes you, if anything, unhappy. What about rehab? Does it work? Folks, if you are looking into any rehab treatment center, or if you're looking into what we're going to discuss next, AA or my methods or any other method, you have to be able to first admit you have a problem, and then we're going to talk about what needs to be done secondly. But in order to start your journey of the battle against addiction, it all starts within your heart and in your mind. And if you don't have the strength to admit you have a problem, more than likely, and it's okay if it happens, you will have relapses. A person who's addicted to drugs can be helped with treatment. If you know someone who needs help with drug or alcohol addiction, you or they are not alone. Help is available. If you want to get information on referrals on drug and alcohol treatment programs, call this number, please, 1-800-622-HELP. And for parents that are out there, here's a toll-free number. It's 1-855-DRUG-FREE. 1-855-DRUG-FREE. And if you want information on treatment programs, referrals, call 1-800-622-HELP. let's dive into this subject right now. But being that we're talking about this, if you truly, today, October 22nd, 2014, truly want to start changing your life, that you truly want to finally work out of this addiction that you have within you and live a better, healthier life, the first thing you need to do is you have to admit that you have a problem. As long as you keep denying you have a problem and you think you are controlling it, you will never, ever, and I mean ever, be able to battle this addiction. You will always have a relapse over and over and over again. Admit it, and there is no shame in admitting it, whether it's to yourself or to other people. Because when you admit it, you are becoming a better person right there, right now. You will not show signs that you're better yet. You might not feel better, but the fact that you admit you have a problem makes you a better person already. In combination of you admitting you have a problem and you seeking your higher power, in my case, my God, combined, you will have a battle plan, or the soldiers needed to come up with a battle plan for your addiction. You can include God in your life without ever having an addiction. But you cannot have an addiction and want to fight your addiction without including God. So now we have achieved these two things. You have finally admitted you have a problem and you're saying, okay, I will reach for my higher power. What are my options? Option number one, we've been speaking about that. That would be going to call 800-622-HELP and finding out about treatment programs. They can give you a lot of different programs available. If you go to my website, Clearviews, that's CLEARVIEWS.info, on page 7 you will find every state that has information on treatment centers. That is option one. You will, if you go, either go inpatient or outpatient, and if you go, you have 10-day stays all the way up to 90-day stays. But caution is when you come out, don't think that you're fixed. Do not go into your old abusive habits again, and don't become cocky. You need to continuously, like I'm sitting here right now, battle your addiction with knowledge and information and a structured plan. Option number two is AA. AA has been around since 1936. It has helped millions of people. They have the 12-step program. When you first become sober, they suggest that you do the 90-90, which is 90 meetings in 90 days. You meet for an hour a day somewhere, whether it's in a church, whether it's in the YMCA or Lions Club, and you sit in a classroom atmosphere and you exchange information with each other on where you came from, what your future holds for you. That is an effective way of doing it. It's helped millions of people. For me, it wasn't effective enough, or I should say, because it might have been effective had I stuck it out. It wasn't involved enough. I needed to be actively involved more than 1 hour a day. My personal opinion here is that people leave AA after the hour and they might just fall into the trap of relapse. And I needed to be more involved. And my involvement includes the following. It included, in the beginning, my website, my initial website. Then I became more actively involved with another website. I became even more actively involved then with all my pages on Facebook, Twitter, and Google. I became even larger or more involved than doing these videos, to the tune of 175 videos. They're published everywhere. They're published not only on websites, they're published on Google, Twitter, YouTube. There are many more places. They've been seen by, from what I understand, by some AA meetings. They've been seen in some churches, and they've been seen, from what I understand, in some schools, especially the mad ones that I've done and the sad ones. That's Mothers Against Drunk Driving and Students Against Drunk Driving. And it just keeps growing. And now it includes doing interviews on Sundays on Neighborhood Road, Mastic Beach. I go between 11 and 12, and I talk to real people that have the real stories. These people, whatever they say on my audio tape is what I give to you. You might not like what you hear sometimes. There might be a profanity word, one or two. I will not edit anything. I would rather not put it on there if I find it too graphic than edit. Because once I start editing other people's words, then they're not the real people with the real stories. If it's too graphic, I will not put it on. But my point here is that if I would have chosen AA, I might not be sitting here today, sober. I'm not saying I definitely wouldn't be, but more than likely I probably would have had a relapse. I have actively dived into a whole new method of recovery, a method you can utilize. So you have your treatment center, you have AA, and you have my methods. Any method at all, whether it's these three or any other methods that are out there, have to have one goal in common, and that is to seek sobriety and stay sober. And they have to have one other thing in common, and that is to seek your higher power. You need to include God in no matter what you do, whether you have an addiction or not, in life itself, but more so if you are addicted. I should say more so because across the board, he should be involved in your daily life. He should be involved in your home structure, your addiction structure, and your recovery structure. Your home structure as a role model, if you're listening or viewing me right now and you're a role model, your role model should never ever include drinking, smoking, profanity, and physical abuse in your home. In front of your children, those are the four major things that will cause your children to end up doing what you're doing when they go out to the public, into society. Not only are you supposed to be a role model, you are the hero in your children's eyes. And what kind of hero would you be if you constantly smoke in front of your children when you're telling them not to, and you constantly drink in front of your children when you're telling them not to, and you constantly use profanity in front of your children when you're telling them not to, and God knows if you're physically abusing and you don't want your children to do that. So if you have to smoke, do it outside your house. If you have to drink, do it outside your house. If you have to use that trash bathroom language that you might be using, do it outside your house. And if you're physically abusing anyone, don't do that at all. And if you feel that you have to do that, seek counseling or therapy, because there might be something wrong that if you physically have to abuse. And if you're the victim watching me and you get physically abused, simply call 911, because it's better to have your loved one removed in handcuffs and get the treatment that he or she might need and come back home to you than for you to be removed by the authorities in the body bag, because that's irreversible. You will never ever come home again. So if you're the victim of physical abuse, call 911. Now, those are the four things you should never do as a role model in your home. These are four things you definitely should do as a role model in your home. You should show your children that there is love within your home. You should show your children that there is respect within your home, that there is compassion within your home, and that there is emotion within your home. Those four things have to be in your home. That will make you a role model. Remember the analogy that I always talk about, and that is our chapters in our book of life. Every year that we're alive is one chapter. Our book starts at birth and ends at our death. It is you as the parent, grandparent, or the legal guardian's responsibility to help write the chapters between 0 and 18 for your children before they go into society. So being that role model in the four ways, respect, love, emotion, and compassion, is the right way to write those chapters. The other four, which is smoking, drinking, profanity, and physical abuse, should not be part of those chapters. If you do the four that should be, from 0 to 18 in front of your children, they will go into society with a shield around them somewhat. But if you do the other four, which is the smoking, drinking, physical abuse, and profanity, you are just helping your children blend right into society. Each chapter represents a year, so now your children at 18 leave. They will then at that point start writing their own chapters. If you're watching me and you have chapters that are totally out of control, it is never ever too late to change that. Let today be the new chapter that you're going to write in your own book. Even at the age of 70 you can start, or at the age of 18 you can start. It's never too late, because remember, the people, the loved ones, or any other people will remember the last chapters in your book, whenever that might be. If you reach up to God and ask for forgiveness, guidance, and direction, He will forgive you. It doesn't matter if other people forgive you, as long as God forgives you. That's the most important thing. So start today. October 22nd, 2014. If you have a problem with substance abuse, admit that and start today. I always tell people this little analogy, and that is when we go to bed at night, we take our shoes, sneakers, slippers off, and we put them on the edge of our bed on the bottom. Tonight, I ask each and every one of you guys just to take your shoes, slippers, and sneakers, whatever you might be wearing, and push it under your bed. That way, tomorrow morning, when you wake up, and you have the opportunity to wake up, you, while you're getting your sneaker, shoes, or slippers, are on your knees to pull them from underneath your bed, should thank God for another day that He is allowing you to stay on this earth. Remember, for every breath you take, there is someone in the world taking their last breath. For every time you open and close your eyes when you blink, there is someone that closes their eyes for the last time. So you should, every single day, thank God that you have another day. And every single day, you should make the best day possible, and you should make it a new chapter of your book of life. A better chapter in your book of life. The past is the past. You can't change that. You can learn from that, but you can't change that. But you can change today and the future. But it has to start within you. It has to start with sunshine in your heart and in your home. Because if you have the sunshine in your heart and your home, you will get nothing but positive results. You need to start eliminating the negativity around you. The people that are constantly telling you you're no good, do not listen to them, because you are good and you are special and God created you. You might just need some fine tuning. And one way to start doing that is to seek God. But the people that tell you you're no good and you're worth nothing, those are the negative people that you need to stay away from. Remember, each person has good in them, and so do you. No matter how bad things might look right now, if you seek your higher power, things will change. Since I started seeking my higher power, have seen changes galore. Those changes aren't sudden, and they're not huge, but they're little changes that you pick up on every step in life, every year, every day. You might see changes with your own body. In combination of seeking God and fighting addiction, you'll see physical changes. You might see financial differences because now you're not using money to pay for drugs and alcohol. You might see relationship issues. These are all changes that will come together and make you a more well-balanced life or person. I'm here to tell you, if you call me at 844-405-HELP, let me help take your life back. And it's so simple to do. All it is dedication and the willingness to admit you have a problem. Dedication meaning that you stick to an action plan. Remember, anyone who has a goal set has to have a plan to achieve that goal. So your goal should be sobriety. And what is your plan to seek sobriety? It should be AA, it should be my method, it should be a treatment center, and it should all include your higher power. That is your action plan to achieve sobriety. And then the little things around your goal, like relationship issues, will fall back into place where they might have fallen out of place, out of control. Financial issues will fall back into place where they could have fallen out. And all the other things that went crumbling around you as you were so heavily involved in your addiction will come back into place. Remember, you need to seek guidance and direction from God. For the biggest reason of all is because now you're at a point where your life has crumbled. If your life has crumbled, you obviously can't control it yourself like I couldn't. That is when you seek God for guidance and direction, and you will, bit by bit, day by day, month by month, year by year, start seeing changes in your life. But it all starts with you, and it all starts today, October 22nd, 2014. For the naysayers or the procrastinators that are going to say to me right now, well, maybe I'll think about it and I'll do it tomorrow. Remember what I just said. Each time you wake up, God is allowing you another day on this earth. For every breath you take, somebody's taking their last breath. How do you know for a fact you have it tomorrow or next week or next year? Because you don't know that. Also, for the people that are watching me that have self-esteem issues, You can build your self-esteem up by being good to other people and by helping other people. Simple helping people, like opening a door when you're walking into a store, pushing a cart for an elder, taking the garbage out for the elder neighbors, picking up garbage on the ground as you're walking into the store, helping with food, helping with furniture, and helping with money for things that you have that are in your home that you might have more than you really need. That, by helping others, will build your self-esteem, will make you feel good. Remember this analogy. I've said this once before. When you came to this earth, you came with nothing, and when you leave, you'll leave with nothing. So when the hearse is driving you to your final resting place, don't think that there will be a U-Haul truck behind the hearse following you with your personal possessions, because what's going to happen, unless you started sharing your personal possessions or left a strict will, people that are left behind after your departure will be fighting over those things. So why not start today, October 22nd, 2014, start sharing some. If you have extra furniture and you don't need some, give it to somebody that might need it. Salvation Army, to churches, neighbors. If you have extra food, give it to someone that might need it. Or if you have extra money, donate some of that money. All these little things that I'm telling you about will build your self-esteem. God will see these things. You will feel these things. And that's one step of taking your life back. The other step is by admitting you have a problem and seeking sobriety. That's where I come in handy. If you call me at 844-405-HELP, I will help take your life back like I help take my life back, and I help other people take their lives back. I am not a miracle worker. I am not a magician. What I have is the knowledge and the information to help you take your life back, to show you the methods that do work. Even AA can help you take your life back. But what I like to do is I like to make it fun. The videotapes makes this fun. They're going out to the interviews of people with real stories and make it fun. My little Sunday inspirations makes it fun. I make addiction recovery fun. I look forward to these videos each and every day because I count on 2 people being helped out of the thousands viewing me. One of them is always me, and I'm hoping you're watching me and you're the other person. You can text me if you don't want to speak to me, 631-599-0218. Text me 24/7. Go to my website, www.clearviews.info, CLEARVIEWS.info, or go to clearreform.com, that's CLEARREFORM.com. Go to my Facebook. We have an open group called Clear Reform. We have 2 pages, clearviews.info and Clear Reform. You can find me on Twitter, Google, Yahoo, Facebook, Dig, Dogpile, many other ones. You can find me there. YouTube has all of my videos. All you have to do is type in Take Your Life Back with Ralf Friedrichs. That's Take Your Life Back with Ralf Friedrichs. You'll see all my videos. From the first video ever, which was a total train crash, 8 minutes long, and I look lost. I have become more comfortable as time goes on, and I know it is partly because I have become comfortable, but I truly believe that my higher power is encouraging me daily and supporting me in my videos and making me more comfortable. Without my higher power, my sobriety, I could not do these videos. That's what I'm doing for you and for me daily. Dr. Luis Gonzalez, 844-414-8444. Reach out to him. StartingPointMN.com, StartingPoint, MN stands for Minnesota.com, that's StartingPointMN.com. Folks, as I always say to everyone, if you let the sunshine into your heart and into your home, you will get nothing but positive results. Absolutely positive results. If you eliminate the negativity around you, you'll feel better and you'll be a better person. For all the naysayers that are out there, avoid them, because you are special the way you are. Every person, even if you have an addiction, you are still special and you're worth a lot. All you need to do is to fine-tune yourself and learn to fight your addiction and live with it. Fine-tune yourself a little bit. And no matter what, always remember that a sober today, I guarantee you, will give you a better tomorrow. And if you believe what I'm telling you in your head right here, it will become clear no matter where you are. If you're in your living room, kitchen, wherever you might be watching me, it will become so clear. Community lessons empower addiction recovery, no matter where you are. And it all starts with you. Be a better role model. Be the hero in your children's eyes. Be a better person, a better neighbor, a better husband, a better wife, a better grandpa, grandma. Just be better. Seek the help if you need it. Seek God because you need Him. And I always say this, have a great day, but more importantly, have a sober day, and God bless you.